Okay, we have another super important topic to talk about today, and that would be sexual addictions. So I do have my prompt up because there are a few questions and I want to make sure I cover them all. Um, this is really important because as there are more and more outlets for sexual addictions to be discovered, there are more sexual addictions in the world. So it's important for therapists who are Christians to also be well versed in this type of addiction and to not stray away from it. So, first question is, do you believe sexual addiction compulsion exists? I do strongly believe that it exists, and it does take a hold of people's lives, and it causes them to do things that they otherwise would not have. And it's very, very destructive 99% of the time. Is sexual addiction a disorder in itself, or is it a symptom of another issue? Personally, I have come in, I've encountered, people who have sexual addictions, and a lot of times there's a lot that goes into why that started. And they might not understand or know that until it's pointed out to them. And but once it is, sometimes that addiction can become its own thing by itself, even if there was something that spurred that addiction. So I've never seen a sexual addiction just like come out of nowhere. A lot of times there are circumstances, and there are circumstances with all types of mental health needs and disorders that cause someone to be more likely to have a certain disorder. So same thing with sexual addictions as well. I do think it's possible that someone might just have a sexual addiction, no reason why. I haven't seen it. I also do think hormones could play a role in that. If it is just all of a sudden random, no reason why, I would definitely be checking on hormones in that case. So just something to think about. But what criteria would you use to address or assess sexual addiction? You know, any type of addiction is something that is overtaking and overcoming that person's life and their livelihood. They're constantly thinking about it. And in this case, a lot of times it does disrupt their lives. And at some point, as someone who has a sexual addiction will act on it, and it will cause chaos and breakdowns in their everyday lives. And that's when it becomes not a silent addiction or a like secret. Because a lot of times sexual addictions are a very like secretive thing. It's something that's easier to hide than being addicted to a heavy drug. It's pretty obvious if someone's addicted to a heavy drug. Sexual addictions, it's easier to hide, but then it comes out and it's very obvious that the person has an addiction, and it's something that might be like out of character from how someone else might know that person. And but to them, it's something that they might have been thinking about a lot, or it's just constantly playing in their mind. So just like any other addiction, it can be very hazardous to the person who has it. what is the impact of sexual addiction on the individual's life and relationships? Like I said, relationships, it's something with like a partner that can be very damaging. It might end that relationship if it comes in the way, or it's something the other person's like, not comfortable with, which they're usually not. A lot of times it hurts families, breaks up families, friendships, because it's something that goes outside of that person's norm to everyone else. And it is typically like a very shocking thing that people are not aware of. And then when they are, it's very uncomfortable to know about it. And so it does wreak havoc on a lot of things. It could even mess up someone's work life. And so yeah, I mean, there are full treatment centers for sexual addiction, so it's a true issue in the world. How would you approach treatment for someone struggling with sexual addiction? Strategies, interventions, group therapy, and individual therapy. Yes. Yes to all of it. Right off the bat, once someone is ready to take steps, they need to get a download an app that will scratch any type of thing that was even close to pornography or sex or anything that they can see on all of their devices. That needs to be gone immediately. And individual therapy, yes, definitely that at first. Group therapy can be hazardous to someone who's obsessive about it, because then they're thinking about other people's addictions, and it takes them down a rabbit hole. So it might be best, depending on the person, always, to start off with individual therapy and then go from there. Also partner therapy, marriage counseling, if they are wanting to stay in this marriage, is something that needs to happen. And like I said, there are treatment centers, and that might be something that needs to happen, because it could be an addiction that is triggered every single time they see a person that they're attracted to, a person of the opposite sex, whatever their addiction is, their sexual addiction. And so they may really need to get truly away to address all their triggers, and just be in a place that they can kind of reset in a way, because it is a deep-seated, it's in your mind, you're just controlled by it. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think that sexual addiction is a very real thing. A lot of times there are so many things that has caused that person to have this addiction, whether it's being sexually assaulted when they were at any age, that could trigger it. Culturally, and socially, a lot of times, like if that person was bullied, if they were behind, if they were, say, like a late bloomer, that can be something. If they've been rejected over and over and over, that could be a reason. Hormones, like I said, that could be a reason. There's confidence issues, self-reliance on others, tons of reasons. So it's a big deal.